Hello everyone, and welcome to my home. On this clip, we're going to kind of go over the design of this house. I've had a lot of people message me before and since the videos have aired of your home so beautiful, it's so comfortable looking, how did you do it? So why not do a video about the layers and how it went from what it was to what it is now. If any of you follow me on Facebook, you've seen the clips throughout the time of what it looked like on day one and then all the way to the finished product, but we never did any videos to kind of show the progression and how we selected things. The whole idea of this blog, once again, is to recenter ourselves, put things in perspective, and decide what is important to you and put that around you. So we want a happy home, we want a happy life, we want a happy mind, we want a happy heart, and I think it all starts in your home life. So we've discussed clutter, how clutter can clutter your mind and stress you out and give you anxiety. The design of the home is very important as well, because if you have a decorated home, a designed home, it then kind of falls into place to keep it like that, so that way it's not just a box. Many of you have heard the saying, a house is just a house until it becomes a home. So my question to everybody out there is your house still just a house? Or is your house a home? So through this, I'm just going to kind of pinpoint some things that I've realized, that I've learned, and then we will show through different clips how to place things and why I place them the way I do and the different options. So back here is just the living room, basically. It's an open concept floor plan that we've created. So it's the living room, dining area, and the kitchen, but it's all open on this side of the house. So we have the front door where you come in. We have two beautiful windows over here that overlook the trees in the side yard. We have the original window that was built in this home with the lead glass above. This is something that they kept. They replaced all the windows throughout the house, but this has been kept. So we want to make sure to make it a focal point. Outside of this window is a sunroom, and so we'll show those in other clips of how to create that. It was a front porch that's been converted into like a sunroom now. This type of square footage in a home, instead of just having a porch in this type of area, we'd rather have a sunroom that you can use throughout the whole entire year. Over there we have one bedroom. Then in the center here we have a bathroom. And then back behind us we have the other bedroom and then the basement. You're at where the bar for the kitchen is. And then it goes into the kitchen, which we'll do some of that later. Over to the side we do have a spot. Now remember, I've cleaned out the whole room, so there's a little bit of stuff you're going to see. Over here we have this unique window, which is, I'm not the tallest person in the world by any means, but this window is very high. We have about 9-foot ceilings in this house. This window is very, very high. So this area is kind of one of those oddball areas that everybody goes, oh, I don't know what to do. And we've kind of taken that and turned it into quite a gym. Sometimes those oddball areas are the best places to work with. So if you look back on my Facebook and you see some of the clips of what it was before, of course there was all paneling. There was a closet that was built from about here to here, and then it came all the way back past you. So this whole area here was closet, which intruded into this room. Back behind, when we have a different angle, you'll be able to see there was a big wall there, which we tore out to open it all up. So in a small square footage, I highly recommend to spend the extra money to completely gut it and tear down those walls, put those beams up, make it what it should be. The resale value will be there, trust me. So a lot of this is going to be like a two-part description. If you're remodeling a home or getting ready to, some of this will help you. If you're in a home that's been remodeled and you're just wanting to change it up, then you can take that part of it. So in this home, we had paneling. So we had it all torn out. It's all new drywall. We had the raw floors in. So we had to create literally from floor, walls, and ceiling all the way through. So when you're picking paint color, don't be afraid. Don't go to the darkest and don't go to the lightest. Don't be afraid of, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make it so dark, it's just gonna be so dark and heavy. And don't go to the lightest, like a white or a light Beijing tan in every room, thinking, I don't want it to feel dark, so I'm just gonna make it airy. Do something that keeps you happy, and when you look at that swatch of color, you say that's what it is. So we went ahead and we went with a two-tone color, which I hope you can tell in the video. This back wall, we did a blue, and then the side wall we did grays. So it splits right down the seam. I love to do this. In the last home I had, I did something very similar. I did the side walls all the way down in one shade, and it's the same hue value, the same hue tone on the swatch. So when you put it side by side, it's in the same line, it's in the same family, but it's a different shade and a different color. So you can do that and they complement each other and it flows really, really, really well. So I did the back two walls, or the front and the back wall, I did those the blue, so they speak to each other, and then I did the side walls gray. The blue is something that I just wanted to integrate. I didn't want it to make it the impact, so that's why we just did it on those walls. The big walls that run all the way down the sides, I did the gray because it's neutral. So if I decide that I want to change, or you go to sell your home and they want to change it, all they really have to do is change those two small walls versus everything. Very important. And I still break it up with the color. So this wall, if you look, you have a door and you have the huge window. So wall space wise, there's not much there. Same thing in the kitchen. When you paint a kitchen, usually whatever color you pick is not going to be very prominent because you have all your cabinetry and appliances and windows and doors. So stop and think about that. Step back and kind of look at actually where the color is going to shout and scream. Is it really going to be that loud? Because I bet you it's not. So that way this is neutral, something I can change up if I want to. If anybody knows me, you know I like change. So we don't want to make it too guaranteed and too sold on one color. So I went with the grays. At first when you put it up, you will panic a little bit. You go, ooh, that's really heavy, because you're putting it against a white wall. So anything compared to that white's going to look dark. But don't panic. You have to see it all the way through the design, not just at the beginning. So we picked the gray, put it up, and it did. It seemed heavy. The blue, it seemed heavy. We have our white ceiling. Our floors, we went with not a brown. We kind of changed it up, and we want to go for more of a modern, rustic look. So we went ahead with a gray. It has dark tones, light tones, medium tones in it. So we started the door and we went straight back. So it took the eye, when you walk into the room, the lines of the floor took your eye all the way back to give the illusion of a longer, wider space. Very important. If you've never installed flooring before, prepare yourself. It's doable. You can do it. Make sure your surface is prepped. It's very clean, very smooth, and be prepared to book a couple massages because your back will kill you, and your knees, and your hips, and your whole body. But honestly, I don't think it is worth the money to have somebody professionally come and install it if you take the time to do it yourself. Once again, all this is depending on what kind of budget you have. So with anything we've done, if you have a big budget, great, you can do it. If you have a small budget, you can still do it. So flooring put in, walls painted, and then we changed our light fixtures. Light fixtures is one of the cheapest ways to make the biggest impact besides paint. So paint can be a little pricey. Don't spend a fortune on paint. It's paint, and you can change it. Light fixtures, I tend to lean and spend a little bit more on that. If I can find them on clearance or a good deal, great. If you find something that you really love that's going to work in the house and it's not on clearance, factor that into your budget. So the next thing we're going to discuss is curtains. So when you have your windows, you want to kind of get an idea of what kind of curtains you want. So we have gray walls and blue walls, so almost anything can kind of go. We want to keep this space light and airy. So we went with a darker color paint and floor. So now we need to kind of reverse that effect and go and lighten it up a bit. So around your windows, you have to think your curtains are going to go there. So once again, your paint is covering this spot and down there, but your curtains are going to cover some of that too. So the blue that we did is not going to have as big of an impact as it is whenever it's all empty in the room. So keep that in mind as you go along. Too many people get afraid halfway through and they go back to the store and they get lighter paint or different this or different that. Just breathe and keep going through it. I never, ever put my curtains at the top of the window. Right in here. I always take it up above it. Now, curtains come in different dimensions. So check and see what dimension you can get your curtains in that you like and where you need to set your rod. So there's 84-inch curtains, that's the length. There's all the way to like 120, I think, inches long. So kind of get an idea of what works best, your height of the highest window, and go off that. And factor that in. Now our curtains also, as you can see maybe with the rod over here and here, we don't just take it to the window. We take it like a foot over on each side. So when you open those curtains, they're actually past the actual window. So the whole entire window shows and the whole window gives you light. So very important to factor in at least a foot past your window on each side to give it the maximum space and size you want and that fill of fresh, bright, vibrant light coming in your house. So now as we remodeled, you have to go through and put a lot of details. So one of those details is trim for around the windows. This is not hard either. People panic at this. Now our cabinetry in the kitchen is open to the living room, so we need to work it off that. That's a shaker style, craftsman kind of cabinet, very simplistic. So we just took the same idea and went off of it for our trim. So this has no detail, it's just flat. It's primed at the hardware store. Get it, bring it home, then you can paint it black, which sounds crazy, but it's been done. I love it. You can repaint it white, however. And you simply just go around your windows and place it in. You know, put it in, measure it, and see. You do it here, along the bottom, along the top. And it makes a world of difference. You will be shocked at what just a little bit of trim can do for a look around a window or a door. When you match it up, and I wish I had a piece cut, when you match it up, it's amazing of the finished look it has. Then you take some caulking and you go in all the little cracks and that fills it all in. And then you paint it. And it gives it that finished look. So the second part of trim is going to be your floor and your ceiling. So now this trim has a little bit more detail. It has a top that is cut, so it just gives it a little detail. You can go with the flat all the way around the baseboards, that's fine too. This comes in many different heights, so you kind of get, I say, pick 1 or 2, 3 of them, bring a piece home from each, sit it down in the house and see what it looks like. So you'll simply take this around the whole perimeter of the house and put that down. The door all the way around. Just tack it. I say pre-drill your holes if you're going to use nails. That way it doesn't split the wood. So as you can see, just that one piece, there it's there, it gives a finished look and it trims it all out. Same thing with crown molding. Now crown molding, if you've never cut it before, I do recommend that's where you spend a little money, have somebody come in and put your crown molding up for you. The cuts have to be just right, and also if your ceilings and walls are not completely straight, it takes a lot of finessing. So that's kind of where you probably need a carpenter to come in and kind of throw that up there and pay the little extra dollars for labor. Floor molding, 100% save the money, do it yourself. Door trim, if I can do it, anybody can do it, trust me. So in the layer effect, we've done our walls, picked our colors, we did a two-tone there, that's more of a neutral tone. Our floors, and it felt pretty dark. But remember, you still have your curtains to go in, you still have your couch to go in, and your furniture and your accent pieces. So We have big pictures going on the wall. We can use lighter frames to lighten that up if you want to. If you think, okay, I've hung my curtains and it's now light enough for me, then you can take and do dark wood frames or something that has a little bit more of a weight to it as far as look, and that will give it the darkening effect. So it's controllable almost all the way through the process if you just pay attention to the pieces that you use. So now the second thing, if you're moving into a new home or you're buying new furniture, a lot of people make a mistake, they don't measure the room or the space for the furniture. They buy the furniture for what they like, then they get it home and it eats up your space and it's just too much. So go look at the furniture you like, take the measurements, come home and measure it out. Get a piece of paper and lay it in the four corners of where the couch would be so you can see this the space I'll take up. You can go to the hardware store and get big rolls of like craft paper. It's brown in a big roll. And you can roll it out, tape it all together for the size of the couch, the chairs, the entertainment center, and move it around and go, no, that chair's going to be too big. I need a smaller love seat. I need 2 recliners instead of 1 big chair. And kind of play with it before you invest your money in it and get it home and realize, I'm going to have this for years and I'm not going to like it. So make sure your furniture speaks to the house. So at this point, we have an open concept floor plan. You always have to look at where your doors are and the flow of traffic. So are you wanting to entertain? We move the furniture around for entertaining, holidays, anything that is going to have a different traffic flow. Be able to move your furniture around for that. It makes the party, it makes the atmosphere so much better. Okay? So we want the home to feel light and airy, but yet warm, not stark and not hospital cold and stark, but we want it to feel clean and crisp. So more of a spa. So there's a difference between the spa filling and the hospital filling. So you have to make sure it's inviting if you want to go with a lot of light tones. So we have our window. Is it something, is the neighbor's house right on top of you to where you don't care about the view? Or is it a whole yard to where you want to see the view? Pick where you want to put your furniture to those things as well, if you can. So we have our bedroom and bathroom like we said before. So now we're going to try to place furniture pieces, just our big furniture pieces, to kind of get an idea of the feel of the room and how much it fills it up. So in the next clip, we will walk through and how much it fills it up. So in the next clip, we will walk through the furniture pieces, the placement of them, and how it makes the whole room feel.